Are these glasses working for me? Back in 2015, a number of big changes happened in my life, and while there wasn't much that I could do about those particular changes, I did take it as an opportunity to make other changes in my life and figure out the kinds of things that I wanted in my life and how I wanted to behave. Think about the kind of life that I wanted to live. Today's Veda is not about that. I mean, not exactly. One of the changes that I decided to make was around how I looked. I wasn't happy with either my level of fitness or the way that I dressed. At the time, I wore a lot of what I would describe as boring clothes. A lot of dark neutral colors, very dark greens, very dark blues, khakis, no patterns, no graphics, just nothing. Just bland milk toast, not exciting.
I have no strong feelings one way or the other.
I figured at the time that even if I couldn't get in shape, I could change the way that I dressed, and changing the way that I dressed and looked would change the way that I feel. I had a friend help me with a few key style choices, and things kind of went on from there. Exercise has been iffy, and my style has relaxed a little bit. It's a lot of jeans and graphic tees, and a lot of Chrono Trigger shirts. Like, a lot of Chrono Trigger shirts. That is a long preamble to what I want to talk about today, which is style. A bit more specifically, what is my style and how I'm changing it up, some things that you might be able to do to change your style if you want to, without necessarily having to change literally everything in your wardrobe, and without any elaborate transformation sequences. Though if you can do that, why the heck wouldn't you? I would describe my style as colorful and vibrant, fun and functional, and geeky, but not overtly so. And you'll likely see examples of all this as we walk through my wardrobe today. Starting with day-to-day style, which is the majority of my clothing, a thing that I've learned about style is that you don't need to have specific outfits. What you want to have is a couple signature pieces or unique pieces, and then have lots of other clothing that kind of goes with that. In some of my earlier forays into fashion, that was combinations of dress shirts and vests or sweaters, and I learned that I look pretty good in that getup, but I absolutely hate the way that it feels. It feels constricting, it gets hot, I do not like wearing layers. I don't really have a lot of signature pieces, but I'm trying to change that. As you can see, I found a lot of fabrics on Etsy that I thought would be really cool as shirts, but I definitely did not have the time to make shirts myself. Fortunately, a friend of mine, Hades of Ice Phoenix Art, was willing to help, so I enlisted them and compensated them to help make some of these shirts happen. These are some of the fabrics that I hope will soon become shirts and that I can show off at a later date. And they look great! Like, look at this! This is the only one that's completed so far, and I'm really looking forward to some of the other ones. Most of my day-to-day clothing kind of checks the boxes that I mentioned before. You'll notice that I try to wear the rainbow. There's certain colors that are maybe a bit overrepresented, but I don't think that's too much of a problem. In the theme of geeky stuff, you'll notice that I do have geeky t-shirts, but they don't tend to be overtly geeky. They don't tend to reference things directly. When there are geeky shirts, they're often very stylized. They tend to be illustrated rather than more realistic styles, or they're presented in abstract. For example, the Pokemon gym shirts that I have look like they would be from actual gyms if the Pokemon world were real. My uniform of sorts is typically dark denim pants, so most colors work pretty well together with that. In the summer, I have a few pairs of colorful-ish shorts. People can knock the look of cargo shorts all they want, but I like them. They're comfy and easy to wear. Socks. In the winter, folks usually don't see these, but I have a wide variety of colors and patterns that are on display for pretty much whenever the temperature is above 15 degrees Celsius. Though the socks don't tend to last very long, unfortunately. In the winter, I have this Patagonia jacket, which is fantastic because it is lightweight and still warm, and great for travel because it can be squished. There's nothing worse than going to a convention in the US and having to carry around this big bulky jacket only for it to be really, really warm. I don't like when the temperature changes that much. It's like Canadian spring all over again. And for the rest of the year, I have this other jacket, which is very warm and waterproof, and once again, lightweight, and in both cases, more color. Lots of color. Want to have all the colors, but not wanting to have all the jackets. Accessories. I don't have too much in the way of accessories, and those that I do have tend to be pretty functional. I have this watch, it's the Fitbit Sense, it's an activity tracker, so checks the functional box. I have this wallet which keeps all my cards in a compact little package. It is the Ridge wallet, again, functional. One of the geekier things that I have in my pockets is this Kingdom Hearts bottle opener keychain, which is both functional and geeky, but it's a little bit unwieldy, and unfortunately the chain is broken. I'm trying to find something to fill a similar niche. I also try to keep a microfiber cloth in my pocket. They're a little splash of color and they can be much louder than some of my other clothing because they don't make their way out all that often. They're also an opportunity to show off a little bit of geekiness. Glasses. After learning about the glasses racket and how you can get much cheaper glasses from other online outlets and retailers, it's been much easier to get less expensive glasses, which means I can have more glasses. As you've seen in the different Vedas, I have about 4 different pairs that I use from time to time. They work for pretty much anything that I'm wearing, and I also have a couple of pairs of sunglasses for when it is actually nice outside. They are all functional because without them, I couldn't see very well. Some of them are even more functional. I have these blue blocking glasses, and some of them are more fun. These ones, in particular, glow in the dark. You would not believe how startling it was one night to see something glowing in my nightstand drawer and be confused as heck, only to learn that it's my glasses. It was weird. It was weird as f***. Carrying stuff. Carrying bags? Bags. Baggage? Baggage! Most of the bags that I carry are Peak Design, but since I've been working from home, they're not really used as much. I have this everyday over-the-shoulder bag for day-to-day uses. It fits my laptop and enough for most short trips and flights. I also have this pouch that I use, which just barely fits my DSLR, and a few odds and ends, which is super useful at events like conventions. Look, there are tons of different ways to express yourself in your clothing, even more ways than I've covered here. But you can see that there's lots of little elements that build up to what is your overall style, and how you can tweak just little bits to give yourself a kind of different look and feel. Even things like glasses can make a big difference. Tomorrow, things are probably gonna get a little bit heavy. I could have looked up how to mic a lapel mic. Oh man, I'm gassy. I forgot to get water too, but I didn't. So let's just go through with this. Am I gonna animate that in? Probably not. Most of this is gonna be voiceovered, so I don't have to look at the camera, but if I do, then later when I inadvertently don't end up having B-roll, at least I have something that makes f***ing sense. One of the cooler things I have in my pockets is one of the cooler, no, that's just Kermit the Frog trying to do Golem.